Welcome everybody. Hope everybody's good. It's Monday, the 20th of July, and it's actually slightly later. It's 10 a.m. So we're obviously going to be looking to trade, mid-London, and we're going to be looking at obviously what is happening. So what's happened this morning, rates coming out of China, are equal or as expected, so no surprises there. We've just got a bit of a continuation. Now, it's very messy this morning. I'm just going to hide the chat. So if we look at this on a 2 hour, all right, if we're looking at everything on a 2 hour time frame here, we've got, yen kind of little bit all over the place. We've got oil popped up as expected, but obviously it's being drawn back down into this 80. But this is still highs here, all right, and this is still, not great. We've also got yields here, popped up during Asia. And obviously now we're just pipping down, but obviously again, highs, and then we've got dollar, which is kind of where I wanted it this morning. If I'm honest, is where I wanted it to be. So we've just got to wait and see, what happens here. So I'm still, favoring the dollar to the upside here. I think there is a higher probability. Like I've said, trading is all about probabilities of us being at 101 as opposed to us being down at this 100 500 area, So that's obviously what I'm expecting, to happen here. So let's obviously wait and see. We've got a lot of resistance here. It is, struggling to break higher, but it's also struggling to break, lower. If we get rid of this, right, and we actually box this out, then, we're kind of consolidating and have been since probably Thursday coming into New York. So Thursday, Friday, Sunday night is kind of stuck in this range, which makes me kind of wonder if we do get a breakout, it's going to break out hard, but it's going to need, something for it to break out. Yields, like I'd said, still obviously happy with these. They're, tried obviously breaking the lower Friday, pushed straight but back up again. So obviously that's going to instill inflation worries, which is going to keep obviously interest rates higher for longer, which is then going to benefit the US dollar in regards to a more protective way, as opposed to a good way, So I'm gonna, you guys have obviously asked for a intraday gold trade, which I'm gonna put in. But I'm also going to look at Aussie here, and obviously we're going to trade everything on the 15-minute time frame. We're going to make everything a lot smaller. So we've obviously got this key level here, which I pointed out last night. So that is 70. All right, and it's held. All right, we've not been disappointed at all. It has 100% held. I'm going to go pretty aggressive. I'm going to do something like this so that it's in the middle. So let's go potentially 25 and 85, something like this. All right, that's what I'm kind of looking at. We could go a little bit more aggressive and go 75. Let's have a look at what that looks like. 75 here. Yeah, do you know what? No, let's stick to the plan. Let's go to 85. There we go, 85. So that's what we're kind of looking at here. Yes, we're trending, but obviously, if we're looking at everything on a higher time frame, we've tried breaking above this so many times. We've pipped it once. I am expecting this area to hold here, and obviously, I'm going to lead on to gold as well, so that I can explain my kind of method to my madness here. Now, we're also not going to take the biscuit too much. All right, so if we do a profit level of 20 pips, because we're obviously trading later on, So we'll do a profit level of this. Let's have a look at a daily. How much we move? We've moved quite a lot. See, if you look at Aussie, it's already moved. It's already moved like 42 pips. All right. So I mean, if we're looking at the average range here, it's moved more than all of these. All right, so we could expect a bit of a roll over here. And obviously that's what I'm anticipating, but I just want one more pop up into our area and I'll be pretty happy. So let me mark this out. And then obviously we can then send this one in. All right. Right, one, two, three, four, five. There we go. So we'll push this one up here. It needs to go red. And we'll push this one up here. For anyone, new, if you've got any questions at all, always feel free to ask. I'm going to do a boot camp tonight at 8. So that's I haven't really decided what I'm going to do it on yet, but I might do a bit of a plan, for everyone because I've had quite a few one-to-ones recently. I'm going to go TP1 about here. Let's go 900 there. So I've had quite a few one-to-ones recently, and obviously we've been going through a few plans to obviously keep everybody in the right AUD USD sell trade. Change it. Opportunity. There we go. Right. That is AUD USD here. So yeah, like I'd said, we've had a bit of you know, uh, going through some things with some of you guys, and there's a pretty good plan which I'm gonna draw out. GBP USD, do we want to? Do we want to? I do think it could get drawn into this area. What have we got here? Let's just clear this. Let's just clear this here. I mean, we've got 135 here. That's going to hold pretty steady. Might be worth holding it up on that one there. Let's just have a look at that. 135. What we've already moved. Not, look how much slower the movement here is on on GBP. Well, similar. Let's have a look on an 8 hour, see what Asia was. See, we've already breached this Asia high. We're coming back in. I'm just going to mark up Asia actually. It's normally quite a good one. There we go. So let's have a look if we did something into this area. How big is that? How big is that? 30 pips. Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's do 75. 95. Is that? That's on our Asia high there. So we've obviously got to go slightly more aggressive. So, but obviously we're going to keep everything a little bit tighter too. So what if we did 20 pips and 40 pips? Let's have a look at that. Mm, I mean, we are at all-time highs. I'm not expecting this to kind of tap in, really. What if you made that 700 just to make it a little bit tighter? 3.5. It's probably a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to go with this here for GBP USD. So let's do this here. Right, let's go on the 15-minute. Oh, let's just make everything a bit smaller. I hate that. When you scale it all up, then it's absolutely miles away from where you want to be. Let's do, there we go. Right, let's pull this one up here. And then clone this another 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Red. we're going to keep everything a bit tighter here because I just trading at 10 is ever so slightly different. And obviously, if these don't trigger by 12, we're going to have, we'll close out. All right. So we'll close out. We'll have our TP here. There we go, like that. So we'll make that one green. Green is good. And this one here as well, green. Right. It's a little bit smaller. Zoom these over a bit. And I like this. Something like this. There we go. Right. There we go. Let's just make this a little bit clearer for everyone. There we go. There we go. Right. So last but not least, let's do gold. Let's have a look at where gold is. Too bad, actually, is it? There we go. Right. So I don't like gold on the higher time frame at the moment because it's all over the place. To be honest, it's all over the place anyway. So we've obviously got our Asian high here. So let's mark out our Asian high. So I've got one of our lower time frame gold positions running. Just need this just to pop up here. With you with Joe at least one win. It's all been a bit harder recently. So I'm gonna play gold a little bit safer. I'm gonna go with the overall trend and I'm gonna go with something like this. So if we do 2.9, 3.9, something like this. Nice sell. Because if we're looking at gold trend and if we're looking at everything else, if oil holds, if yields, hold this area, that's obviously going to bring us into the inflation worries. We're obviously allowing for gold to push up here. It's continuing trend. There's lots of obviously reasons why we would obviously want to enter gold. So let's go somewhere just above here. So about 100, it's going to have to be a bit of a bigger stop. So let's do 140, 320. Let's do, sorry, 280. We'll do a nice 1 to 2 here. So it's not too bad. I reckon we can actually probably take this down to 4,000 because if it's going to drop, it's going to drop all the way. So I'm looking at something like this for our gold trade. So let's wait and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll obviously have a look at euro and we'll have a look at USD JPY as well. I mean, USD JPY might have been a good one. I obviously I wouldn't be looking for gold because I just don't like how it's trading at the moment. But a few of you have asked me to bring back the intraday um, gold trades. One thing that I would always be aware of on gold, and one thing I haven't noticed with the lower time frame gold trades is the heavy, heavy losses. All right, that's one thing that I haven't noticed from taking the trades, on on the lower time frame as opposed to higher. So yeah, so just trade careful because I do think everyone, naturally over risks on gold anyway. So USD, sell trade opportunity. There we go. I don't know what is wrong with me this morning. My brain's not working. There we go. Ri- right. So briefly, let's have a little look at, euro. If I was gonna look at euro, we've obviously got this. I mean, euro's bunching heavy. Look at all this squeezed in price action here. If we're looking at it, it's also reacting pretty well. For you to be kind of clear, you've either got to be, selling from up here, or you got to wait for this to break here. So you got to wait for this to break to get continue. I actually think euro could tumble quite big today, but we'll leave that one for a bit later on this afternoon. USD is approaching obviously these danger areas. We obviously want to see a pullback before we drive in. Every time you buy, you are kind of risking on the, heavier, side of things. So just be a little bit careful. You would obviously rather be buying from down here than you would be from up here, because this is all a big danger, zone here. So right, let's have a look at a few of these questions here. Right, there's one question. Good morning, Dan. Are these trades automatically copied into my account? No. So we've got like a really, safe copier. So it's really slow, but obviously it ticks on. But I don't like to do it because yeah, everyone's risk parameters are completely different. So that's obviously why. So right, I'm going to hold this off here. Make sure you are all about later on. I'm going to be doing the boot camp at 8. And obviously I'll probably record it. But yeah, and also remember that you can ask me any questions in these, lives that you want to about trading. If you're, struggling with anything, ask away. There isn't anything that I've not been through. So, right, have a great day, everyone. And yeah, let's make sure that we smash it. Have a good one.